What would your dream hobby be if time and money were not an issue? I love carpentry. I watch dozens of YouTube videos on woodwork. I freaking love it and the creativity is endless. I wish I had a huge garage and a set of tools to work with. Having a garage and learning to fix old cars. Collecting and playing as many instruments as I can. I really love music. Growing plants. Any plants. Medicinal, food, or just flowers to look good. Giant greenhouses on acres of land dedicated to growing many plants, all day every day. Blacksmithing. I love knives and blades, but I can't really afford it since I'm a student. Traveling and experiencing cultures around the world. The main limiting factor of D&D is the time to get people together to play, so I'd finally get the opportunity to run the 8 or 9 campaigns I have stored away. I might even have the opportunity to run them multiple times for different groups so I could really fine-tune them. The true beg is adult scheduling. Sailing. I'd personally love to get into model trains again. An ever-expanding animal sanctuary. Making things. My hobbies already consist of 3D printing, modeling and designing, etc. If money was no object, I would have a proper CNC machine. I currently only have a small CNC router, laser cutter, paint booth and tools out the ass. One day I'll have all these things, but time is limited and I can only make so much, so it's slow. But one day I'll have my dream shop and maybe be successful enough at building those things where I can quit my full-time job and focus on that. Lego. Honestly, I would just travel the world and meet new people from different cultures along the way. It would be a relaxing and fun way to live out life if I'm being honest. Since I was a teenager, I always said that if I ever win the lottery I would buy a plane and do humanitarian missions with it. Bring some vaccines in isolated places around the world, do some medical evacuation with it, etc. I'm now a pilot on a medevac plane, so I guess I'm not too far from this. I wake up every day and enjoy the job I dreamed of since I was 6 years/0. Flying is a very expensive hobby. I'm glad I'm getting paid for it, but it's also my favorite hobby. Hiking. I love walking. I'd love to have days to go on treks into proper forests and mountains. Whale watching. Restoring old homes. Making diamond-studded bad dragons for charity. Painting on large canvases with oil paints. Both the canvas and paint are so expensive and it's incredibly time-consuming to do anything with oil paints. If I could afford it, I'd do many more paintings. Edit. Holy smoke skies. Thanks so much for all the advice on how to get back into this. Collecting and playing board games. I'd take in dogs that often get passed over at shelters and restore antique clothing, furniture and other things. End goal: I live in a big old restored house with an army of dogs and the local children believe I am a witch. Edit. Thanks for the gold. Photography. I'm not good at it, but I think if I had the money I'd be able to invest in better lens and work on my editing skills. Astronomy. I would go to university and article as many courses as possible. I'm not sure if article is the correct term. I would take courses but not write any exams, as I would not be interested in receiving a degree. I would definitely do lab work, though. That's where the real magic happens. Edit. It's called auditing courses. Thanks for this. Learning languages and getting paid for it. Probably shooting. I would love to get into competition shooting, but ammo is expensive and I don't have the time needed to really hone the necessary skills. On top of that, the ranges around me kinda suck. Wildlife/bird photography. Warhammer. I have a Sisters of Battle army and I really want to get to 2k points, but with the metal figures, since that's most of what I have already. I would buy a Cessna or something and fly it all day long. A bunch of hookers and cocaine. Travel the world looking at some dope AF animals in their natural habitats, specifically chimpanzees, dolphins, whales and wolves. After that I'd set up a non-profit conservation center. I'd love to pursue music more than I have so far. It takes time, which is directly linked to money, sadly. There were times when I spent 8 hours a day in some rehearsal space. By now, work has taken over and most of my private life is actually more important than messing about on a guitar, so I get around to play once a month at best. If I could get a job that paid well enough to buy that time, I would go back and make music as often as I could. Video games. It sounds lame compared to other things in this thread, but I would love to find more time for them. I have such a huge backlog of games I've bought but never played, along with a lot of games I want to buy and play, so if I didn't need to worry about time and money, I'd definitely game. I'd convert an older multi-story building into a bookstore and hang out there all day talking about books with people and reading. Treasure hunter/adventurer. I really can't think of anything that would be better. Blacksmith. I would love to have a home forge and make things. Not just weapons, but also industrial art and pieces for other artists to improve upon. Piano. I would just run for days like Forrest Gump did. Building computers or making Raspberry Pi gadgets. I'd get a large property and build a series of epic huge aquariums replicating all sorts of different freshwater and marine environments around the world. Then I'd travel the globe fishing everywhere and keeping the fish to stock my aquariums. You know, within reason, I'm talking fish that can survive happily in captivity. Not a marlin or whale shark or anything, basically to personally collect all of the world's fish, or most of them, and keep them as pets. Sigh. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more.